So there is a little kind of bonus exercise here, which is how do I remove that extra RNG thing? The easiest option is to destroy the deployment. We destroy the RNG deployment, so it destroys the replica set, so it destroys that pod, and now we only have the daemon set and all is fine. The other option is to do some fancy operations on labels. For instance, what if I want to put that outside of the service, but I don't want to destroy it, and I also don't want to break the existing traffic. So the solution that I offer here is, all right, we are going to add an extra label to the daemon set, and then I think I'm going to just skip that part, or maybe just because I want to show the rollouts after, and if I do that, we might miss time. Let's try anyway. So the idea, because that's really how I want to explain selectors and labels. I want to change my service, my load balancer. I want to say, okay, you need to find the services, the pods that have run equal RNG, but they also need to have is active equal yes. But if I do that, then suddenly the load balancer doesn't have any backend anymore because there is nothing that has is active equal yes at the moment. So before doing that, I need to change the definition of the daemon set to say, I want you to add a label is active equal yes to all the pods that you create. And then the load balancer will still be fine because, okay, you have is active equal yes, but you also have run equal RNG, so we're fine. So I add that label to the daemon sets, then I can add the label to the service. Okay, so if you caught up to this point and if you feel brave, you can try directly, but there are many little issues that you can run into, so I have a bunch of helps on the following slides. The main thing to understand here is that a daemon set is a resource that creates more resources, like a deployment. So if I look into the definition of my daemon set, so I'm doing kubectl edit daemon set RNG, I have the definition for the daemon set. So I have some metadata, I have a bunch of things, I have labels for the daemon set itself, I have a name, and then I have a spec. And the spec is the actual configuration for my daemon set. And in the spec for my daemon set, I have a template, which is the template for the pods that are going to be created by the daemon set. And those pods themselves have a spec. So I'm sorry if this is like mind-breaking. It's a little bit simpler than it seems. I want to add diagrams for all that stuff, but I'm really bad at drawing stuff and at doing visual things. But hopefully in a later version, I will add some diagrams and animations to really understand that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to change the selector for my daemon set to say, okay, now instead of just matching pods that have run RNG, you also need is active yes. And it's super important to put quotes around yes, because this is YAML, and in YAML, yes means true, and true is not a string, and then Cube is going to like tell you what the hell is this label. So is active equal yes. And now I also need to add that in the labels of the pods that I create, because if I do that, I'm telling to the daemon set, make sure that we have one pod per node matching this expression. And by the way, you're supposed to create pods that don't even match this expression. So if it were left to its own device, the daemon set would try to create many pods, and these pods would never match the selector, and bad things would happen. Let's try that. Say, you tried to fool me, but this daemon set was not valid. because the selector does not match template labels. Okay, so I tried to live dangerously, but it prevented me from shooting myself in the foot. All right, so let's change that. And here in template labels, I'm going to put is active yes. And I'm going to save and quit. And this time it worked. So now I have a daemon set with the isActive tag. And now I can, if I look at the logs, I see that this recreated new pods, by the way. So if I wait a few seconds, if we look here, I see that I have the pod for the original deployment, the 4 original pods, and the 4 new pods. So 9 pods, and everybody is receiving traffic. All right, now I only want the new pods to receive traffic. So I'm going to edit the selector for the service. So edit service, RNG. And I go to the selector, and I add is active, yes. And I save, and I exit. And stuff happens. And I wait maybe 10 seconds for everything to pick up the changes, and I check the logs again. And now, as you can see, it's not super obvious, but if we look at the timestamps, I can see that this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Why do I have 5 of them receiving traffic? That's interesting. That was not expected. No, sorry, I'm what. My mistake. This one is receiving traffic. You see that the last request it got was at like 9:55 and 30 seconds. That one is not receiving traffic anymore. The last request was 30 seconds ago. So this one, and those 2 are receiving traffic. That's good. I only have 4 pods receiving traffic. I still have other pods, but they're not receiving traffic anymore. Good. All right, and if I do kubectl get pods, I see that I have now I have a bunch of RNG pods. So I have my old RNG pods that I would need to clean up to do things properly.